When asked to pick a favorite teacher of all time, this isn't a hard question for me. I've wanted to become a teacher since I was in first grade because of my first grade teacher, so she's always been my favorite, and I've never had a teacher compare to her and the way that she impacted me. I think the biggest influence a teacher can have is making you want to become a teacher because you saw what they did. So when I was a little kid, I had hearing problems, so I would mix up my words and I'd be scared. It's like so scared to mess up that I would just keep to myself and I wouldn't get out there and talk your ear off like a normal little kid would. But my shyness really didn't get to last that long in my first grade class because somehow Mrs. Godfrey knew exactly what to do. I remember one day she gave me a pink sparkly notebook with a matching pen, and I was so confused because no one else in my class got one but me, and I didn't know why she was singling me out. But she ended up telling me that she saw a lot of potential in me to become a future writer. But I was still confused at this point because it was early on in the year, and I didn't think I'd done that much writing to get her to see that. But she also added that she knows I have a lot of creativity in my brain, and she wished I would just let it out so everyone else can hear it and see it. So at that moment, I didn't realize what exactly the notebook would do later on, but at the end of the year, I was told that I was out of my shell. I began talking to new people. I made a bunch of new friends. I would raise my hand to answer questions. I wasn't scared anymore. And now, looking back on it, I know that the notebook let me turn my thoughts into words, and then I was able to turn those words on paper into words out loud and be confident in myself and not be scared to talk anymore. I know that it might seem really small, but it was really influential for me to see a teacher can impact you like that. So I hope that when I become a teacher, I can make some sort of impact like that. I can't really remember any specific lessons because this was so early on in my life, but I can remember a really unique one and didn't involve any paper or anything. I remember one day we were lining up to go to recess, and my teacher stood in the doorway, and we were all really confused because she never did that before, and me being the worrywart that I was, thought something was wrong with the door, something was wrong outside, so I just made sure to be very observant of my surroundings. And I noticed there was a pencil on the floor in the door frame where you walk out. But I didn't think anything of it because it was just a pencil, and I watched all my fellow classmates walk right over it and not pick it up or anything. But I was still confused walking out. I knew something had to do with a pencil, but I wasn't sure what. So when I got out of the classroom, when everyone got out, she explained to us that she was trying to teach us a lesson about responsibility and kindness. She wanted us to learn to be responsible enough to pick up after our messes and after our class, even if it wasn't our individual fault. And she wanted us to be kind enough to the janitors to not make them have to clean up after us. I think that it was a really unique and creative lesson, especially for first graders, because at that young of age you don't really understand responsibility and you don't really understand what you have to do to be responsible. So it was cool that she was able to make us realize that through an experiment, and it's such a small thing, but I don't think I'll ever be able to forget it. So she is really the reason I want to become a teacher, and I want to have the same influential and impactful lessons and ideas and one-on-one conversations with my students too.